You know, I've been belonging here to that guy. You have everything in the fountain if you see the bus coming through there. I need to know if there's a bus and right up there for the tomb of the unknown soldier. You have to do this and write by and keep it up for yourself. If you absolutely know what you're doing, you gotta behave to know what you're doing. There's absolutely the tomb of the unknown soldier who had it for the ceremony that is the changing of the guard. You need to know if the ceremony was the best for the tomb of the unknown soldier. And that's why buses run here. And you want to see that there's a fountain that's just right there. I think that's the fountain that you only see because they put coins in there like the one at the United States Botanical Garden. And I want to know if nationals are where to come. Because the tomb of the unknown soldier is the way to come here for the cemetery as a ceremony. Like, it's not going to be commercial. It's not going to be commercial to the one about the politician for the ceremony. It's been politician democracy since the day we see the ceremony. I have to know about the ceremony who came here for the tomb of the unknown soldier. You have to do this and belong the way. You have everything in your time. You have everything in the difference. Because that's why times can be managed. You have managed. You have managed in that times. And you can see a fountain that is just right there. And you have to see that the fountain is just right there. You got to be kidding about the fountain. And you can see that that people are walking and waiting for the bus to come or the tram to come. It's either one for it. You have everything in your time. You got everything in your belongings. You have everything in your time, and you have to figure this out in the moment, all right? I have to go look at the flames and then come back and go back to the exit entrance. And I have to do this for myself, do this for my own, and keep it up for the best. Keep it up for the best if you need some. Keep up for the best if you have time in your commercial boundaries. Sounds like batteries. A commercial says to come here for the tomb of the unknown soldier. It's fun to leave it around and just see what soldier says. That's what happens if a politician makes sense to come here for the cemetery. Sounds like boundaries. A politician makes sense to understand the cemetery, to understand the ceremony. Something if there's a fountain that it was only the fountain to see that you only see, that's the way that if you do, because you have everything in the time, you got everything. You have more. And you have everything in the time. All right, thank you for that and no more, okay? There's the one. I know that nationals are where to come here if you want to see them very much. And I have to do this for yourself and make sure to keep it up. I know that ceremonies are to come here when there's a changing of the guard again. So I heard that music for the changing of the guard. We're gonna go see that one more time and go back on the episode 9. And then 10 or 11, I'm gonna stop. I have to remember the ceremony who came here. Like the one that you did is the ceremony that everybody else comes here and remember the cemetery who has the tomb of the unknown soldier. The ceremony that you're about to witness is the changing of the guard. But I watched it on the back, and I'm gonna do it one more time over there, then I can, Why is the fly all over me? What is happening? I'm gonna watch the tomb of the unknown soldier for one more time, then I can go over there to put episode 9, then I can go for Around the Bus and then do 2 more episodes for 10 and 11.
Left shoulder. Arm. Forward. March. Guards. Halt! Forward! March! Guards! Halt! Port! Arms! Ready! Face! Present! Arms! Port! Arms! Ready! Face! Pass. On your orders. Post and orders. Remain as directed.
Orders! Acknowledged!
Ready? Face! Reset! Arms! Howard